Half cat, half parrot strikes again. Hey everybody, Mr. Moose and I are back out in the Montana garage, and to be honest with you, this is the first time I've been back out here since I made the big announcement that I'm gonna go to Rocky Mountain Race Week. If you watch the previous videos, you know that I didn't have any luck getting registered. I'm on the wait list, but not in the event. And I have recently found out not only am I on the wait list, but I am number 96 on the wait. They said they've gone that far down the list before, but holy crap. Moose just jumped from that chair over there up onto me again. He's getting in the habit of doing that. Anyways, number 96 on the wait list. They've got that far down the list before, they said, but I'm not very optimistic that I'm gonna make it, which is kind of sad and kind of frustrating. Whatever, it is what it is, right? But I want to get the car done and do some sort of event so that, you know, you folks that are following along can, you know, follow along with the build and then follow along as we go to some sort of events. I'm still hoping for Rocky Mountain Race Week. Right, Moose? We're hoping for it. We got our fingers crossed. Maybe they'll go that far down the list this year. And if not, I think it's like June 25th and 26th. There is quarter mile racing at the Yellowstone Drag Strip, which is 150 miles east of me in Billings, Montana. Crazy cat. And if we don't get to go to Rocky Mountain Race Week, we're gonna have the car ready. We will basically do our own drag and drive weekend. We'll drive from here to there, do some racing and drive back. Won't be quite the same, but give me something to shoot for anyways. As of today, I just Googled it. I have 140 days left until race. I'm pretty much where we left off. Nowhere as close to being ready. I really think I can do it though if I can just focus and get out here. Struck out on that today. It's a Saturday and I was gonna be here all day and it's like, I don't know, 2 o'clock and I'm just now getting out here. So trying to come up with a plan and figure out where to start, how to start, what to do. Got a box of goodies here that we'll talk about in a second. Maybe before we get into that, let's talk about the spirit of the build or what I'm actually trying to build here. All right, I've said it 100 times before, I'm not building a show car. I'm trying to take the time to make things nice. You know, I'm painting the frame, I'm painting everything. I want it to be nice, but I don't care if it's perfect. I think what's it Freiberger says from Roadkill, like perfect is the enemy of good or perfect is the enemy of done or something to that effect. If you, and I've kind of had a bad case of that forever, but I'm gonna try to get away from that. I'm gonna do it right. I want to do it how I want to do it. I can't do every little thing that I want to do financially and time wise, and I don't have to have this time limit. I'm putting that on myself just because I want to get the car done. I want to be able to actually drive it again. So what I'm building is a car that's kind of tribute or a throwback to what I had back in the day. This is the same car I had in high school, you know, and it had the same engine, small block 327, it's 4-speed, 411 posi. It's a fun car to drive and it's not fast. It was quick, whatever. It was fast back in the 90s. Like I used to go race on the streets in South Dakota up on 8th Street in Rapid City, South Dakota, and I only lost one time. And all I had was this combination. So it's nothing special, but good enough to make some noise, do some smoky burnouts, spin some Brodies, have some fun, and probably get in trouble. That's what I'm going with for now, but I want to make it something I can drive a little more. So we're doing like these drag and drive events. And then someday down the road, replace the motor, build a little more power, add gear vendor's overdrive so we can do the drive part a little more comfortable. 411 posi, you know, you're cruising down the highway at like, I can't even remember now, but 55 miles an hour is like 3,000 RPM or something silly. So the driving part is a little suspect, but that's what I want to do with it for now. It is going to race, so I need to figure out a few things to make it, you know, legal for the track. This is just a quick reminder that even with the record-setting inflation we're experiencing, likes are still free. It's the best deal on the internet. Go ahead and hit the button. Thanks. So a couple of those legal for the track things are, and I don't really need it right now, but I'm gonna try to do it because I'm building it, right? And it's all apart. You need an SFI bell housing. I think if you go faster than 1149. I probably am not gonna go faster than 1149 right now in this build iteration. I think when I raced it back in the day, I was just over 13 seconds. I also didn't have any traction. I had just those tires, just street tires, traction bar, and it just either spun or wheel hop forever. So I couldn't get traction. So hopefully I can go a little bit faster. I don't think I'm gonna go in the 11s with this build, but we'll see. But beans I got all apart, I'm gonna do the SFI bell housing. We're gonna do a drive shaft loop on it. I guess I probably need to do a roll, not a roll cage, but a roll, well, yeah, roll bar, I think they call it. I'm a little torn on the roll bar because pretty much takes away the back seat. I mean, you can get a bar and I'm still gonna have a back seat in it, but you know, with the bar and then the down bars and the rear bars and the shoulder harness bar, whatever it's called. It's it gets pretty tough to get in the, well, here, let's look over here, because I got one in this car, and it might be a little different, but it's the same theory, I guess. This is probably the same kind of roll bar that I would put in. What is it, 8-point? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. The only difference would be, in here the seats don't fold, so I'll have seats that fold forward. So then if I get seats that fold forward and a door bar that swings out, maybe just on one side or the other, I'd probably just do the driver's side. Or the passenger side. I don't mind crawling over the bar, but if I have passengers, it'd be easier for them to get in and out if that door bar swings out. And then plus, I think if this swings out of the way and the seat folds forward, it's not super convenient, but a guy can crawl in here and get in the back seat if you really wanted to, especially kids or whatever. I'm probably gonna go with the roll bar. And again, I don't think I need that until 11:49, and I'm not gonna go that fast this year probably, but I plan on going that fast. And plus, gotta have something for the seat belts. So you kind of, I mean, I guess you could get some sort of stock seat belt thing. What do you think about the roll bar, Moose? He likes it because it gives him something extra to crawl on. That's kind of the long and short of what we're trying to do. I got 140 days to do it, so I better get to work. As mentioned, I have a bunch of goodies right there. And then I really don't have, although it looks like I got a long ways to go, there's not a ton of more stuff I need to buy. I need a new rear end. Maybe I don't have to, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna break that thing once I hook. That's just a stock one. I don't know, 57 Chevy 411 posi. I think that's probably gonna break. So I'm gonna be proactive and just replace it now while I got the chance, especially because hopefully we're gonna be making more power down the road. I need to get that. I need to get the roll bar. I need to get wiring kit, wheels and tires. On the wish list would be a gear vendor's overdrive, but that's $3 grand, so not happening, at least not now. So I think those are, there's probably something major I'm forgetting, but those are the big ticket items that I need to get. Everything else is just little stuff. I mean, there's a lot of little stuff, but it's doable. So I think it's doable. I just got to get out here and get the work done. So you guys can start placing your bets. Am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? Give me a comment down below that says what your gut feeling is. Yeah, just curious if you guys think I can do this. Maybe, I'm sure there's a lot of you that think I can't. I probably kind of think I can't myself, but I'm going to do it anyways, even though I don't think I can. I think I can. I just got to get out here more often. And of course, you know, the financial part of it, I just got to figure out a way to make all that happen, but we'll get her done. And when I say I'm going to be done in 140 days for Rocky Mountain Race Week, I mean, I'm going to be planned to be done enough to have this road and race worthy. It's probably not going to be painted. I'm probably not going to have fancy interior in it. So it's not going to be done, but it's going to be majority done. And then I can work on, you know, the body work. At some point, I'm going to spray it all in epoxy. And that may be all that happens. It may still have scars showing, or I may get around to doing some body work, just depending on what else I get done and don't get done. I'm not really worried about that right now, and eventually it's going to be done, and eventually it will be painted. But I want to get it back together so I can make some noise. So probably no body or in paint, probably no door panels. I don't know, I might throw my old somewhere up in the rafters or over in the corner. I have just the old ratty ones that came on it. I might throw them on just to kind of cut down on the noise or something for driving. I'm hoping to get some new bucket seats. Those are the seats I have for it now. They're out of like a 80s Camaro. I don't really like that style now. They're too tall. I'd rather have like a low bucket seat out of a Chevy or an Impala, or maybe even if I can't find something vintage or whatever, just go with like those Pro Car seats. It's just not going to be done. It's going to be done enough is what I'm going to call it. So 140 days till done enough. I think I'm going to store all these new parts that I'll show you inside the back of the 57 here. Usually I leave a little rag right here so the rear gate doesn't latch, but she's latched, and I don't know if you've noticed, but there used to be a T-handle right here so you could open it. Well, like the other door handles, she's shaped. I gotta crawl through. I think, was it just in this video I was telling you guys it's hard to even get in the back seat? I gotta crawl through there so that I can open this up from the inside. Can't take you with me and leave you here at the same time, but you can stay right here and watch me struggling to get it open. Wish me luck. This thing weighs about 800 pounds. All right, it's one of my favorite days out here in the Montana garage. Unboxing day. Just got this yesterday. I obviously opened the box, but I haven't even dug everything out of here yet. So let's show you guys what we got. some of this stuff I needed right now, and some of this stuff is just, I'm gonna need it, and I was making an order, and I'm worried about stuff being able to get here, so I just ordered a bunch of stuff. We got a new MSD distributor. We got the MSD 6AL box, so we're gonna be making some sparks. We got a Power Master Performance, I've never used this kind, a little mini starter. We got some MSD spark plug wires, and this is kind of the one I needed right now. I don't need it right now, but to be able to finish installing the transmission, we got a Ram Performance clutch set. So we got clutch, flywheel, pressure plate. That's a throw-out bearing. More MSD stuff, blaster coil. So like I said, we're all set to make some hot spark. Clutch and flywheel bolts. Bump stops for the front suspension. What is this little guy? Oh, this is a clutch pivot ball. So since I moved the engine 3/4 forward, and I'm also getting a different, why does my brain quit working? Whenever I turn the camera on, my brain quits working. Bell housing. I'm getting a different bell housing on a Tri-5 Chevy. The little clutch ball, which is what this little guy is. There's a little plate that bolts on the bell housing, and it comes forward and it's got one of these on, and that's what your pivot arm, bell crank or whatever it's called, all pivots on. Well, I moved the engine 3/4 forward, so that won't work, but I can't just make that thing 3/4 longer because I'm changing the bell housing from one of the bell housing mounts, so I'm gonna mount it. I'm gonna have to make a little bracket that'll bolt right to the side of the engine, and then this guy will go on there. So that's what that's all about. I'm getting a Lakewood SFI scatter shield or whatever. That is back ordered. When I ordered it, they said it was going to ship January 31st, so no big deal. That's only, what, next week or something? But then I got an email that said now it's not shipping until March 31st or something. So I'm probably gonna, so this stuff is a clutch boot and a clutch fork for that Lakewood bell housing. I'm probably gonna put my clutch in and everything, and I'll put it back together with this bell housing so I can keep moving forward, and then I'll just have to, by the time that other bell housing comes, I better have the body on the frame, so then I'm just gonna have to do that the old-fashioned way from underneath. That's what I got. I thought I'd just throw it all. Most of the stuff, like I said, I don't need for a while. I can throw the starter on, and I'm gonna be working on the clutch and bell housing, and the rest of this stuff is gonna go in cold storage in the old delivery for a while. I'm sorry, buddy. Seems like I just got this transmission put in here, and that's because I did, but we got to take it out to get that clutch installed. So let's grab the jack and some tools and enough jibber jabber, and let's get to work finally. All right, step one, got some goodies disassembled. As you can see, I was missing some stuff in there. Obviously, I was driving this car before, so I had a clutch, but it was starting to slip and chatter a little bit. At some point, when I first started driving it, it had a generator on it, and I converted it to an alternator, and it was getting like backfeed, so it wouldn't shut off. I think it's kind of a common thing. I remember kind of researching it, and I had to add a diode or something in line somewhere. Couldn't get it figured out or something. This is, you know, back in high school. For the longest time, while I was trying to figure it out, means I would shut the ignition off, the car would keep running. I would just, you know, hold the brake and let the clutch out slowly and kill it. I think I screwed my clutch up by doing that because that just kind of eventually started, like I say, slipping a little bit and chattering. I never did get the diode thing figured out. I put a toggle switch in there in that line. So I kind of like that anyways, because then it was kind of a hidden switch under my dash that if you didn't know to flip that switch, it wouldn't start. Anyways, that's why I'm using a new clutch instead of the old one. Probably don't have to, but I think it's always a good idea to replace the pilot bushing while you're doing this, and I actually bought one. So the pilot bushing is this little guy in the end of the crankshaft, so I gotta get that out of there. I've done this in the past. I don't remember what I used, so right now I'm trying to make something to do it. It's like an old shock mounting bolt that I found. I'm gonna cut these threads off here so then it'll bottom out. It's just, this is just a hair smaller than the pilot bushing hole. Hopefully it'll work. I gotta cut this off so it'll bottom out, and then what I'm gonna do is, maybe you guys know a better way to do this, but what I've always done is fill the pilot bushing as much, put some grease in there as much as I can get in there, and then you pound that in, and the grease has nowhere to go, so it forces the bushing back out. Let's see if it works. Safety first, so I got hearing protection, eyeball protection, and some gloves. And we'll hope the death wheel doesn't kill me again this time. This stuff might be flammable, I guess. Probably don't want to shoot sparks all over it. Need a new vise. This thing's kind of garbage. Well, bam! Now I'll need a shock mount, I'm sure. Guess I better leave my glove on, because that's probably hot. I think I know a way to cool it off. That ought to do it. Moose, where are you headed? All right, I'm closing the door. See you later. Guess Moose has had enough. In a perfect world, this would be like maybe 1/16 bigger. We got just a little bit of wiggle room in there. So that gives the grease a chance to come out, you know, between it and the bushing instead of pushing and bushing out. So I'm gonna try to wrap one layer of duct tape around it. I don't know if that's gonna make it better or worse, but we'll find out. I think it's gonna make it fit better, but it might just cause the tape to kind of ball up or whatever instead of doing what I wanted to do. Nah, she's a pretty tight fit. They probably make a tool that does this. This is what I learned to do. I've also heard, I've never tried it, I've always used grease. I mean, I say always, I've done it like maybe 3 times in my life. I've heard that like hand soap, like a bar of soap will work. Same thing, you fill the cavity. I read somewhere that you could use bread also. Seems weird. All of it seems weird. The thing about this is it's a little messy, just getting it forced in the hole. And I'm sure I replaced this pilot bushing. This is probably one of the times, you say I've done it like 3 times. I'm sure I did it on this car when I rebuilt the engine and stuff, so I probably don't even need to be redoing it. Figured I might as well, better safe than sorry, right? All right, let's see what happens here. Probably nothing. Yep, so either I don't have tight enough clearance or I just need more grease in there. Oh yeah, she's coming. Came a little more. Voila! All you gotta do is make a greasy mess, and that fits in there fairly tightly, and you can remove a pilot bushing. Now we got grease cleaned up. Well, I'm not done cleaning up yet. I got kind of cleaned up. I'm gonna put this in my drawer with my clutch alignment tool. This is, you can see that, my pilot bushing removal tool. I should patent this and sell them on Amazon. You want one? All right, well, I was saying that I probably didn't need to replace this because I thought I had probably replaced it, and I probably did. But I don't know if you can see, you know, that hole. So this is the new one I bought, and this is the old one. And the hole is significantly bigger and a little warbled out. So here's the transmission. That's the old one. And also, should this move around like that? My transmission shaft here? Or is that a problem? So there's the old one, and then the new one, actually I put them this way. Nice and tight fit. The transmission, I don't know if I've talked about this yet. I probably should be looking to getting the transmission rebuilt. When I used to drive it, it would pop out a second gear and everybody told me that means it needs new synchros. It didn't pop out of gear on load, only like if you were, you know, you let off the throttle in second gear and we're just like coasting or letting off the throttle. And if you had it in gear, it would pop out. So I just got in the habit of holding obviously my other hand, but I just hold my hand on the shifter and it was fine. I plan to, I need to get it looked at, but budget-wise, I was like, it drove before, it should drive now. So I was kind of just gonna throw it in there, but maybe I'll do a little research. Obviously now is the time to get it taken care of, but just one more thing on the list, you know? All right, so the new pilot bushing, I don't know the best way to show you guys this, but one side is flat, and then the other side is a little kind of concave, or it's got a little bevel on this side. I always put the bevel out. I can't remember if I just made that up or if that's the right way, but my theory is it just makes it easier to get the input shaft started in the hole because it can kind of slide in. So I assume that that's how that's designed, and I probably at some point looked it up. I don't remember, but I know this is how we just did Trey's not that long ago, and that's how we put his in, so that's why I'm putting this one in. The grease wasn't that big of a deal, couple rags and a little bit of brake clean, and she's all cleaned up. For this, I mean, it's just a press fit, so you get her going straight and hope for the best, I guess. I just got a socket that's just a hair smaller than the bushing. Oh man, I had grease on my hammer. Then I got grease on my fingers, I just washed them. I just want to try to keep it straight. And again, there's probably I don't know, doesn't seem like there's a better way to do this, but maybe there's something else, but that's how I'm doing it. Guess you just got to hit it harder. Almost home. There we go. All right, so there you go. There's the old pilot bushing install. Can we drive it yet? All right, a little quick Google research tells me that this free play and the input shaft, I guess it's called, is perfectly normal. I guess when they're brand new or if you fresh rebuild, they're a little tight, but it doesn't take long and that loosens up. That's what I read. So I guess I'm not gonna worry about it. We're gonna put her back together and yeah, we'll just hold it in second gear and have fun. Time to get this flywheel put on. Alright, I got new ARP flywheel bolts. It says Loctite 242 on the threads. This assembly lube under the head. And torque to 85 in a back and forth cross pattern. So that's what we're going to do. Let's speed it up. I had to break out the big screwdriver. You guys ever even seen a screwdriver that big? I mean, what was the intended purpose of this screwdriver? Worked good for holding my flywheel in place. Proto 9714 Los Angeles, made in USA. Anyways, I got a big screwdriver if I ever need it. Clean this bad boy off a little bit. Go get us a pressure plate. And a clutch disc, I guess. Clean as a whistle. Whatever that means. Well, nothing can go smoothly, right? This was all going pretty well, I thought. And then I got my pressure plate bolts handy. No bueno. So the ones I ordered, it looks like I got them from Summit. It just says, you know, Chevrolet. I think it even said small block, but these are for LS1, so this is a 10mm bolt, and I need a 3/8 by 16, so it's a different bolt kit. I'm gonna assume nobody in town has those on a Sunday, but I will look tomorrow because I'd like to get this back together. Dang it. Well, that's where I'm gonna call it for tonight. Go ahead and watch these two videos here while I try to figure out what I'm gonna do about my bolt dilemma. Always gotta be something, right? I'll be back soon with another video to continue the struggle. Thanks for watching.